Welcome back, guys. So, a big congratulations to all those who have successfully cleared the pre-qualifier round of Codebita. But in order to get that PPO offer, that job call, you still need to clear the interview round. So, today I'll tell you how you can work on it. So, firstly, let me actually break it to you that there is no silver bullet for these sort of TCS interviews, and the reason is very simple because they don't have any fixed panel for this. Okay, they don't have any fixed panel. They don't have any fixed syllabus, and the question that the interviewer will ask, it actually varies from interview to interview. Some may ask from oops concept, some may ask from let's say your project, some may put more emphasis on your machine learning. So there's no such sort of questions that might definitely come, but still I'll try my level best to give you a decent idea of what and how you should prepare. Okay, now the thing is, the interviewer does not know anything about you. He does not know your favorite topic. He does not know which coding language you enjoy. He knows nothing about you, right? So how do you tell him that? You give him your resume, your CV, right? Now the resume that becomes your upper and your lower bound. Interviewer will ask his question based on that resume only. No matter what, never ever lie on your resume, okay? Because you will get caught, and yeah, they won't hire you after that. So the interviewer, he is not expecting you to know everything from that resume also, right? Because you might mention some sort of language in your resume, but it's not a given that you know everything about that language. So he's not expecting that. But he's expecting is he expects you to have a basic idea, a decent idea on a working idea of everything that is mentioned in that resume. And the questions, they will actually vary depending on what you told them on your resume. Yeah, the questions actually, it will be decided by the interviewer also, but he'll only ask questions on the resumes only. So prepare your resume thoroughly. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll try to dissect your resume have a few parts from where he'll ask you a question, and I'll try to break it out to you. So let's take a look at what you need to prepare on the basis of different portion of your resume. So the first thing that you must prepare for your interview, this is really important, your projects. Okay, try to have at least two. Okay, at least two. If you have more, that's even better, but I'll highly recommend you. By the way, people get hired even if they have one project or no project, but that is that actually becomes a little bit difficult for you to getting hired. So I'll say that have at least two projects, minimum two. Okay, and know every nook and cranny of that project. Which I mean by that is, what I mean by that is, know everything about your project, every if, how, and but of your project. Because what TCS wants to check is that, is this your project or not? Are you just taking credit of someone else? Are you just leeching off someone else's hard work? So they just want to test that. Okay, know where your projects can be used in real life. Your projects must have a real life implementation. It's not like some sort of useless projects. What you have done is actually worthful. So, and after that, if you're using some sort of particular technology, know about the technology. Why? Because that interviewer, if he has an idea of which technology used, or if he got interested in that technology, he's bound to ask you questions. So you need to have an idea about that technology also. So I'll give an example. Suppose you have a machine learning related project. Okay, which most of you will have, right? If you have that project, they'll ask you which model you used, why did you use it, and what if you use some other model, what was your accuracy when you use this model. Okay, and how can you increase this accuracy, and maybe how did you handle the missing values from the data set, and did you use some sort of pipeline and all that. So prepare well for these sort of questions. Let me give another example. If you have some sort of, let's say, a web dev project, okay, development, so they will ask you which language you used and why. If you use React.js, why not Angular, all that. Okay, and where did you host it, how did you take care of your SQL injection, how did you implement its security, what about users privacy and all that. So which database you use, why. So these questions he will ask you if you have a project on that. So prepare thoroughly of your projects, because that is really important. Okay, and but if you are successfully able to answer all these questions on your projects, that will give you a huge boost. Okay, so after that, let's move on to the next section. What was the next section? I think it will be the section of coding languages, right? Or let's say maybe technologies, because we also mentioned some technology that we are very comfortable with. So uh, let's talk about that first. So as for your coding languages, whichever language it may be, whichever language, maybe C, C++, Python, Java, it doesn't matter. Go to Google, search important interview questions of that particular language, and study from at least three sites, not just one, because one site think this is important, the other site think that is important. So you have to cover all that up. Yes, most of them will be similar questions, but some might be different. So that will actually act as a revision also. Now, moving on to the technology, suppose if you mention machine learning, then do expect a few basic questions like what is imputation, how do you import a data set, tell us about different models and all that. If you mention big data, then they might ask you what is the advantage and all that. How do you implement in real life business models? And if you mention IoT, they might ask you like what how will you how will you give IP address to so many trillion of devices, because IoT have so many devices. So you have to prepare for them. Okay, so because they're just checking that do you really know these technologies, or you just have mentioned them to appear cool in your resume. So yeah, they will ask question on that also. Okay, now the must thing that you should know irrespective of your languages, which you have mentioned in your resume, is that oops concept. He'll ask you question on the oops concept, because that is really important. That is one of the biggest real life implementation, that abstraction, encapsulation, all that polymorphism. Okay, so have a good idea about that. And yeah, they really do expect you to have your concept straight in C. Why C? Because it's like the mother of all languages. If you know C, you know all the languages. The syntax only differ, right? And talking about the programming languages only. And after that, they might ask you on the basis of question that you solve in code. That is also very important. Let's say questions on code data that you solved. So maybe you solve two questions, maybe you solve three questions, whatever it may be. Even if you have solved one question and you didn't got caught in the plagiarism, you might have received a rank, and yes, you will receive a interview call most likely. Okay, until there's some sort of trouble or some sort of there changes, because people do receive calls, that's not an issue. So what they do is they actually ask you questions that you solve this question, right? What was your approach? Can you optimize this? Have you thought of something else that you didn't do at that time but you can do now? So they'll ask you that sort of question. Okay, and now let's move on to the most important part, that they'll actually this will actually almost these two things, this will cover up. I'm talking about the technical interview round. So these two will be enough. If you prepare thoroughly for this, this will be enough from your resume only. Okay, but now moving on to the question that will actually concrete up your selection. So they'll definitely ask you the question on this algorithms, how much you know. So algorithms can be actually categorized in different parts. So I'll actually just talk about the one that I think is really important. So let me first start from arrays and strings, let's say. So for arrays and strings, I think that what they might ask you is maybe binary search. Binary search is something very basic, but trust me, some people don't know that. Okay, binary search, and after that I'll recommend you cadence algo. Cadence algo is, I think, maximum subsequence maximum subverism. Okay, so cadence algo. Okay, and after that, what do we have? Maybe reversing a string. They might ask you to do it using recursion or something like that. So yeah, that is basic reversing a string. Okay, and after that, yeah, KMP algo, it's a prefix a string prefix algo. This is very good. This is very important. Study it. Okay, and yeah, how can I forget it? Sieve, sieve of elasticity. That is something that you should know, because yeah, they'll ask you a question on prime numbers, and there's only one hard and fast rule of that: sieve of elasticity. This is like a silver bullet of your prime numbers, at least to me. Okay, so Harrison string, yeah, done with this. Just study these algos, and let's talk about linked list, because they might ask you a question on linked list also. So yeah, how to do insertion, how to do deletion, and only these sort of questions we ask on linked list. Or maybe at the very best they might ask you to, sorry, uh reverse reverse a linked list. Yes, you can reverse a linked list, but maybe into groups. Like you'll be given a linked list and you have to reverse it into groups, like in the group of 3, in the group of 4. So maybe that sort of question also, because they have been asked. Okay, this is not some just a random guess, this is the question that have been asked. Okay, and after that, what should you study from graph? So graph is like very important topic, because they do ask a question of graph at least once or twice. Okay, so get an idea of BFS, an idea of DFS, and maybe Dijkstra will be asked, and yeah, Floyd Walsh will be have that. Prims and Kruskals can also be asked, but yeah, if you have time, then you can just take a look at Prims and Kruskal. Minimum spanning tree. Yeah, that will be good. So if you study this, I think graph will be covered. And after that, yeah, trees. How can I forget that? For tree, AVL tree, that is a self-balancing type of tree. And least common in system, very important, LCA. And maybe minimum depth. Well, this is really simple. Just use the recursion, minimum depth, and maybe diameter diameter of a tree. The maximum distance between two nodes. So that is the diameter of a tree. Yeah, top, bottom, left, and right view of a tree. Know how to print them. We have the playlist. Just go and watch it there. Very simple. It's when once you actually learn this, you learn an implementation of this concepts. You can solve n number of questions of trees. Okay, so you can just go and watch it. And after that, well, it's very rare to ask DP questions. I'll say that, but and I won't recommend you to just put a lot of energy in these DP questions. But still, I'll recommend you a few questions that you should know, right? So maybe longest common subsequence, and well, yeah, 0 1 knapsack is also important. If you're and yeah, greedy algo is also very important, but there's no sort of some very famous topic of greedo, maybe fractional knapsack and all that. But yeah, study this. 0 1 knapsack will do the trick. And what else? Because I don't think that they'll ask you very hard questions on DP. Maybe cutting rod, maybe egg dropping puzzles, all that. But yeah, maybe longest increasing subsequence. But yeah, maybe, who knows? Just take a look at them. They're not very hard. I have only mentioned a very basics of these DP questions. Okay, and yeah, I think we have got most of the algos covered. So is there something left? Mm. And yeah, one more thing. Have a good knowledge about other data structures. Yeah, that is also something that you should study. Actually, I think this should be on the top also. Data structures like stack, heap, queue, how which kind of questions can be solved using them. Maybe heap, min heap, max heap. Yeah, they'll definitely be asked. Yeah, that is very important. So they might ask you a question on that. So yeah, do that. And I think knowing this much that I've mentioned, this much will be enough. If I think something else is also important, I'll update you. I'll make a video on that also. That's uh, uh, but for now, just prepare for that. Okay, and I think this is what you need to prepare for code beta interview. And yes, we have ample amount of time, so let's start preparing for this. Because uh, I have not mentioned a lot of algos. You might think that this is a lot, but trust me, if you actually start studying, you can cover this almost in 1 or 2 days max. But clear up your basics, brush up your basics. That is really important, right? Because uh, they will definitely, what they do is basically they want to check how strong your roots are. Because what they do is, when you go to their company, they actually teach you some different languages, some different you actually have to work on some different software. So they want to see how fast are you at grabbing. Can will you be comfortable when you work on some new technologies? So that is what they want to test. And yeah, they'll definitely test your problem solving skills, how fast you think. And that is the reason why I've mentioned all these algos, right? And how strong your core is. So that is why I've asked you to go and study those languages, their interview questions. But if you do that, that will be good. Questions on Kurbita maybe to test that did you solve them on your own or not, or how much you have thought of them, how can you optimize them, all that. Projects to know that you are the one who did that. Okay, you are not leeching off someone else's credit. Algos, DS, data structures. So yeah, prepare all this, and I think that will be enough for Kurbita interview. So thank you.